So, according to Wikipedia, net neutrality is a principle that governments should mandate internet service providers to treat all data on the internet the same and not charge differently or discriminate by user, content, website, platform, application, or method of communication. So, your ISP shouldn't be allowed to block or degrade access to certain websites or services, nor should be allowed to set aside a fast lane that allows content favored by the ISP to load more quickly than the rest on a certain website like Facebook or YouTube.
Internet service providers, or ISPs, are companies that are paid to provide internet access to the general public, such as BT or Sky in the UK. Essentially, the legal enforcement of net neutrality means that these companies are required to provide their services in a fair manner and treat all data in the same way. Data for specific purposes cannot be sent faster than any other, and data transmission cannot be deliberately throttled to dissuade users from using a particular online service. This may sound like common sense, but without net neutrality, companies would be able to pay ISPs to prioritize their services above others. This means that the even playing field that currently exists for online services will be completely destroyed. Big companies like Netflix, Facebook, and YouTube, which already have huge funds available due to their online prominence, are able to pay the ISPs to prioritize them and ensure their data is sent faster than anyone else's. Therefore, small companies who are still trying to grow would suffer massively as they are unable to sufficiently pay ISPs, and so their data will be throttled, leading to slow data transmission, which will put people off using their service.
In the EU, net neutrality is overseen by the body of European regulators for electronic communication, which consists of many national regulatory authorities across Europe. BEREC was established in September 2009 as part of a major review of the telecoms industry across all 27 EU member states. Net neutrality in the UK is currently protected by EU law and is overseen by UK communications regulator Ofcom, which itself is a member organisation of BEREC. Ofcom's policy states that providers must not block, throttle or manage internet traffic for commercial gain. There has been concern that following Brexit, UK net neutrality policy could change. This is unlikely, however, as the UK is committed to the Universal Service Obligation, which makes providing stable broadband service a legal requirement. Additionally, Ofcom will continue to regulate UK service providers, as it has stated in a speech following the Brexit vote.
Recently, net neutrality has yet again been in the news due to events occurring in the US. So let's break it down. In January 2017, President Donald Trump appointed Ajit Pai as the new chairman of the FCC, the Federal Communications Commission. Soon after, during an interview, Pai stated his stand against net neutrality as he believed that removing these legislatures would work against anti-competitive behavior in the business, rather than just regulate against hypothetical harms. However, this was met with a lot of opposition due to two main reasons. Number one was due to Ajit Pai's past working for Verizon, and many still believing he had strong connections and interest within the company. Repealing net neutrality was believed to service the providers as previously mentioned. And secondly, many believed that repealing net neutrality would go directly against America's First Amendment, which was freedom of speech. However, despite all this, on December 14, 2017, the FCC voted in favor of abolishing net neutrality in the USA, winning 3-2.
While net neutrality is currently in place in the UK, the situation is different abroad. In Portugal, ISPs are charging more for application packages, which allow customers to have faster connections and more data for specific apps only. These packages do not provide faster internet than what is provided now, however, despite the appearance. The connection speed gets slowed down for people without these packages, making the packages like an internet fast lane for those that pay. Instead of being an upgrade for those who pay, this is a downgrade for those who do not pay, on top of paying for the internet connection itself. This can also hamper startup companies trying to provide internet deals, as larger companies will have to pay the ISPs to give them the higher speeds. Newer companies won't have the funds to do this and end up struggling as a result.
So, what has been the reaction to the potential loss of net neutrality? Typically, the reaction can be split into two groups: those who stand to benefit from it being repealed, such as ISPs and politicians, and those who do not want to see their internet access throttled or blocked behind paywalls. Action has taken place both in the streets and online, with thousands in favour of net neutrality protesting outside of ISP stores in America. Larger companies such as Microsoft, Netflix, Google and Twitter have expressed their support for net neutrality, as well as the disappointment towards the FCC's vote in December. Despite the vote to repeal, protests have still continued, with the Change.org petition reaching over 2.3 million signatures in an effort to push Congress towards a potential resolution to reverse the decision. Currently, 50 senators have voted in favour of the resolution, and only one more is needed to push it through. Whether or not that crucial final vote will be cast remains to be seen.
Indeed, it's not looking great for the internet users in America, so everyone. But more importantly, what about our net neutrality in the UK? Will our ISPs see their American cousins across the ocean making much more money and try to push for the same thing to happen here? No one can say for sure. Net neutrality rules may be protected in EU law for now, and when Brexit comes, it's looking like the government shall carry over net neutrality rules to UK law, but it's still possible for Parliament to make changes before then. If it just happened in America, does it take much imagination to see countries like the UK next for the chopping block?